Where do you feel like your attention gets split or attention gets pulled in too many different directions? I know right now we have a lot of folks working from home for the very first time, and I know the job search is often a situation in which you're working from home for the very first time, um, without supervision, without someone looking over your shoulder. It's easy to maybe not visit that YouTube channel and watch those videos all day when we're sitting at an office. It's a little more difficult when we're at home and we have to self-police ourselves and self-police our attention. So I think it's a really interesting breakdown here today because attention really is a habit. And this concept of habits is really fascinating. You know, there's that great quote, which is, "You are what you do." And I really like that because when it comes to the job search, in a lot of ways, we have a lot of thoughts. We have a lot of opinions. We have a lot of worries and fears and ideas. And so even with, building my business, I'll sit around a lot and I'll be like, what exactly is the way that I want to phrase this thing? What is the catchphrase I need in my LinkedIn profile? What is the headline I need on my website? What is the blah 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 blah? None of that matters as much as the actions that I take, the habits that I build. This live stream does way more for my career and my brand and my business than any headline ever could, because it's an actual habit. It's a thing that I do. It's not just words on a screen that someone could argue with, right? And so as we think about these things and we think about habits, we really do have to say, okay, wait a second. The job search is not just a thing I have to get done, a necessary evil, or any of these things. It is a habit I need to build. And when we start thinking about building our habits in that way, it really changes things. Instead of the resume being something that we just need to get done and send out, the resume is a skill and a habit that we need to refine over time so that we never get put into a place where we have to completely redo it from scratch. When it comes to networking, probably the biggest habit that we need to develop in our job search, it's really important to think of it as a habit, not as something I need to do to get a job. If we think of it as something I need to do to get a job, then we're constantly at odds with the people that we're networking with because we're only reaching out if they can give us a job. And then we start going, well, wait a second, that feels weird. That feels awkward. I don't want to. Well, the only reason that feels weird, awkward, and you don't want to is because you only do it when you're feeling like you need something from that person. And that's like we use the common phrase, right? You don't want to go on you don't want to ask someone to marry you on a first date. You don't want to ask for a job on a first networking introduction. And so these are the types of things that we need to start thinking about. How do we actually get to a point where it's such a habit that we don't have to start networking for the job search? We've already been networking throughout our career. Even when we had a job, we were networking. Even when we were working, we were building our brand, right? This whole organization, this career therapy thing, it came out of a meetup that I was hosting. I didn't need to go start a company. It evolved out of the work that I was already doing for free on the side as a side project, a side hustle. So those are the things that we want to think about, right?